So what's up, guys and girls? As y'all can see behind me, we got the Volvo A30C pulled in the shop here. I've got to get it ready for its first job. I should have my butt kicked for not already going over it and trying to fix some little things on it. Well, I say little, I really don't know where to even begin on it. I do know I want to change all the fluids and all that stuff, filters, go through all that stuff. Everything seems okay on it as far as the fluids and that stuff, but I don't know when they was last changed and all that, so it's best just to start over. I know this thing has 0 brakes. It's got a little bit, but I'm gonna say when this thing is loaded down, there is no stopping it, because I actually went down the hill in it the other day and I couldn't get it stopped and ran through a tree that had fell. But yeah, this thing will monster truck over just about anything in front of it, so I've got to get it stopping a little better, that way Jimmy don't run over some stuff. So yeah, I know I've got the manual over there. I'm just going to start in it and just go through things one by one. I know I got to take this off and figure out why that's leaking, but it's got hydraulic fluid kind of pouring out and it looks milky. It doesn't look the best, so that may not be good. Kind of want to drain all that out, put new hydraulic fluid in it, get all that stuff right anyway. Final drives, check all that stuff, drain those, put new oil in those. I just need to go through the book and see what all's what on this thing. I'm not real sure. I did go through it a while back, just kind of familiarizing. There's that right there takes oil. It doesn't look the best. It looks a little bit thinned out, so get that replaced. But as far as the truck, so far I'll get in it and I'll run around the farm here just goofing off and running up and down the road just to kind of keep the batteries charged up or whatever. But this thing fires up no problem. I mean, it sounds great, it sounds strong. The transmission shifts fine after it gets a little warm, which I think that's just the nature of the beast of these things. It shifts fine to begin with, but I can tell after it warms up a little bit, it shifts way better. It goes through all 4 gears, I think. The bed raises up great. It's fast. All lockers lock in. I didn't think it did until I went back and watched the video of goofing off in this thing. But all tires will pull, so that's a good thing. It's just, and it may just be the brakes need, the reservoir, they may need to be bled. I don't know. We'll probably try that first just to see. But what's going to be hard is, I'm sure y'all have seen Dirt Perfect and Let's Dig's video on their trucks, replacing the brakes and stuff. You basically got to pull the tire off. I'm not sure how I'm going to be able to do that. Well, I can do it. I'll have to do it outside the shop because I don't have enough room in here to get my skid steer in here. Basically what I'll have to do is just jack this thing up and scotch it up somehow, and then use my skid steer and forks to get up under the tire and pull them off. Which I'm sure that's probably what we're going to have to do. I kind of dread it, but like I said, this thing needs brakes. The parking brake doesn't really hold on it either. Sam TriStar Let's Dig TriStar Digging just did his parking brake on his JCB. It's just about the same thing on this truck, and I'm glad that I watched his video because he suggested going to FridayParts.com, and I actually went there the day I watched his video and I looked up the brake pads on this thing. Brake pads aren't but like 80-90 bucks, so not that bad really. It's just going to be a job to get to them. So let's see what's first on this big girl. So I've got this cover off. The hydraulic tank is right there. Of course, this battery compartment. It is just caked on here with stuff. I can't really see what's leaking. There's a seal under this plate right there, And that's probably what's leaking. I figure it's just sloshing up out of there. So let's get that right there cleaned up real quick. Well guys, this is kind of expected but also not good news. Y'all can see that that's the hydraulic fluid. I mean, hydraulic fluid should not be that milky. Which I knew it probably had some water in it. That's exactly what it looks like. I don't think it's gotten just really bad. I've seen worse, but also I've replaced a lot of pumps because water got in the oil. So I'm gonna have to drain all that out, or get as much out as I can and just keep flushing it, I guess. I tried to look through the manual to see how to drain the whole system, but really it don't really tell me a whole lot. I know the plug for the tank is right here. Probably the best thing is drain it, fill it back up, not quite full, or enough so it don't run dry. Cycle through it, drain it back out, and fill it up again. This seal don't look bad. It almost looks like it just wasn't on correctly. Seal's on the bottom of this plate here. I said it didn't look bad, it's just like it almost came unseated. It just don't look the best either, like it's going to get a really good seal to begin with. Yeah, there's really not a great design here. So anyway, I'm gonna have to figure this out. What I may do, clean this up, clean that seal up really good, and just put some RTV or whatever that's okay for hydraulic around that and seal it off, because there's really no reason to take that off. The filter is actually right here. So yeah, I'm gonna drain this out, and hopefully I got enough hydraulic fluid to put in it to move this thing back out. So some of y'all know this, but the ones that don't, water is heavier than oil, so it sits at the bottom. As y'all can see, all the water is going to be at the bottom. I got to try to, that didn't work. Gosh, that's terrible. I'm about to be in a bind because I don't have enough buckets to hold all this. Rope. So yeah, like I said, I don't have enough buckets. I think I got two more over here. This thing holds like 50 something gallon for the whole system. I think it's around 40 gallon in the tank here. So this is going to be fun. I did get the cap back in it, but y'all look at this. This is terrible. Yeah. No telling how much water's in there. Probably gonna have pump issues later on. Yeah, I got some big totes outside I can go pour this in, so I'm just gonna have to keep going back and forth, I guess. Found a couple more buckets. getting down there now. It's close. So it's pretty much all it's going to drain out, but it looks like there's still a good bit in there. What I'm going to do is get that shop vac set up and just see if I can suck most of it out, or what's left in there with that. I want to try to get as much of that junk out as I can before I start putting new in it. So I was able to get basically a full bucket of fluid out of it, and it didn't look that bad. That's just because it had a bunch of crap all in the vacuum before I vacuum this stuff out. But as y'all can see, she's pretty well empty now. So all I know to do is put some fluid in it. Okay, so I got all this put back together. I put me some gasket maker on this part right here. I just think the original O-ring, the original seal, was okay, but it looks like they almost didn't have it on there correctly, judging by how it was mashed down, the imprints left in it. But anyway, I put that on there and then added some gasket maker just to give it a little extra. I'm breathing hard right now because when I pulled this cap off, it broke loose all of a sudden, and I slipped back here and forevermore busted my tail. Scared the puppies, they ran in the kennel. So alright, I'm going to start putting some fluid in this thing, so this is going to take a minute. Probably going to put about 20 gallon in it or so. That way I know it won't run it dry. And just cycle it. I'm forevermore making a mess. Turn the truck on, move it back and forth a little bit, and then see what the oil looks like. God. I've done nothing but make a mess on this job. Okay, so I got right at 37 gallons in it. It should be okay to just start it and let it sit here and run a minute. What I'll probably do is just kind of work it back and forth a little. I can see the oil just at the bottom of the sight glass right there, so it should be fine to cycle it. And what I'm going to do is just let that oil kind of turn over, go through the system a little bit, and let that stuff just sit in the tank, and then let that water work its way to the bottom, and I'll drain a little bit out. And that's kind of how I'll do it, instead of just filling it up, working it all in there and draining it out and fill it back up, because that's a lot of oil. This thing holds like 50 gallon, 40 something gallon in the tanks, like a 50 something gallon overall. So let's fire this bad dude up. Alright, so I don't want to run it just real long. I don't want that oil, that new oil, to get so mixed up that it gets all that water mixed in with it really good. So we're gonna let it sit there overnight, and tomorrow when I start back on it, we'll see how much water is in the bottom of it. So yeah, all the tires are holding air really well. I think the only one that may be leaking, which I haven't even checked them, just kind of looking at it, still don't even look really low. Maybe that front one right there. I'll put a gauge on it, check it. I aired this thing, I aired them up about the time I got it, and I haven't checked them since then, but none of them look low, but we'll get all that. I was afraid to raise the bed up too much because this thing's got water in it. I forgot to dump it out. Maybe y'all can see in there. I forgot to dump it out before I pulled it in the shop like a moron. So anyway, I'm gonna go get something to eat and have a beer and call it a day. All right, y'all, it's a few days later. I let the oil sit for a day or so, and then I drained some of it back out, and of course it's still really milky. I'm kind of concerned. I don't see how the hydraulic pumps are working at all. As much water was in that thing, but drained 5 gallon out of it. It cleared up pretty good, but still not the greatest. And then I put another 15 gallon in it, so it's about all I know to do is just drain some out every now and then and fill it back up and just kind of wash it out. But this thing holds a lot of fluid. And today we are going to try to bleed the brakes before we start pulling stuff off, and see if that helps at all. If not, I guess we'll be checking brake pads and stuff. I don't know where my help just went. Oh, he's over here. Look who's back.
He made me go get a haircut before I be back on the camera. So here I am.
Yeah, he had to get a haircut before he can do any work. So before everybody starts complaining or whatnot, we got a safety chain on there. So yeah, Jimbo is going to crack the brakes, the bleeders here. Hang on if I can see anything. He said fluid did come out. So they all got basically the bleeders, but like any other brake system. He did find 2 of these bolts that are backed out, so we need to get those tightened back up. But we're going to basically bleed them right here and see what happens. Jimmy, I may have to go get some brake fluid. There's some in there. Anyway, you got basically two of these systems like this, I believe. Yeah, one on the back side too for the rear axle, and then the brake, the parking brake is right here, so we need to check that and see if that's moving at all. I can hear it shuttling whenever I'm operating the air thing, but let's get these bled and see what happens.
Okay, we're gonna bleed these black wheels here. Go ahead, mash it. All right, do it again. I can tell I'm not getting the same type of pressure on these as I were those front two. Do it, let off. All right, mash it again. No, I'm not hardly getting any pressure on these. Let me do this other one.
May need to build the pressure back up. Can I let off?
Yeah.
Alright, so I had to go feed Jimmy. He got hungry. And this thing right here is bone dry. Oh, got nothing in there. Did you already open it?
Nope. see where.
That almost looks like it's got water in it. All right, we got that filled up, and we're about to try to bleed the backs off. All right, Jimbo, you ready?
Yep. This one seemed to bleed out. That one there still has
Well, it was empty, so it might. Okay, I think we got them all bled. We about to try it now. Need to let the bed down. Got the safety chain off. What?
try it going down the hill.
No. He said I can try it going down a hill. I don't think so. Alright, we've got good air pressure. Parking brakes off. Let's give her a whirl here. I'm just going to back up and hit the brakes is all I know. Oh man, we stopped good. Let's try her again going forward. I'm gonna set y'all up outside, let Jimmy record. Yeah, that looks pretty good. We may have to bleed them a little bit more, and but seems like they're working right now. Well, all right. The
Here's a 7/16 by 20 bleed screw.
oh, the bleed. I got you. All right, so now we're gonna pull this thing in here. We're gonna have to get up under there to check the front. I didn't even think about the front brakes until Jimmy said, hey, what are those 2 bottles right there? And they was completely empty. So we know the front needs bled too, but I want to get up under here and drop this skid plate so I can see what the oil filters and fuel filters are. Make sure I can get them before I let the oil out of this thing, because I don't want this thing sitting in the shop in the way. So let's drop this pan.
Well, we're dropping the pan down on the front of the Volvo, and it's kind of heavy, so we're going to put a block of wood on top of this jack and lower it back. That's Beth. Hey, Beth.
I think it's too heavy, but it looks like it's got a lot of dirt in there.
Okay, we're holding it up right now. Get this bolt out and lower it down. Okay, here she goes. Oh, that wasn't too bad.
Dropped very far, did it? Oh, it's got a
Safety chain or something?
safety chain right there. Pull that back.
You want me to jack it back up?
Yeah, a little bit.
Got the safety chain off, and she's down.
Alright.
Yeah, let's see what's under here.
The oil leak. Alright, so we are definitely leaking oil somewhere. Looks like it's up on the side of the engine somewhere up there. There's some filter. That's great. I ain't gonna be able to see nothing without taking them completely off. Great. 1660 is that one. Two more over here. Shoot. So that was a 1791. I wiped on it and the numbers came on. Alright, so this thing holds like 7 gallons of oil.
7 gallons of oil. We need about 2 buckets in though.
Yeah, right there. So I'll get the... That was loose. It might have been where some oil was leaking from. Alright.
Gonna get us 2 5-gallon buckets, catch this used oil in, and see how much comes out. See if there's any water in it.
It better not be. Like the rest of the truck, it will be. What was that?
I don't know. Yeah, you look up under there. Look up in there.
That's a check valve.
Is that
I
let
like
air
it.
in and beneath it?
You gotta be kidding me.
Got a big
Probably
crescent.
about to get sprayed. Now, how's that supposed to work?
See if you can take that plug out.
I guess I can. I want to. What's the point in that?
I don't know. Maybe. Where'd you go? Maybe the people that service these for a living have a connection for that.
That way. Yeah.
Nothing?
God.
I don't know.
Kidding me, man. I wonder if that thing spins.
I think we need to study on this and get back with you.
Huh?
Or maybe not.
It's a check valve. All I'm gonna do is I can put an impact on it.
I think we're gonna try to get that plug out. Maybe put an impact on it and see if it'll come out. I think we're thinking make a mess.
Make it or break it. I don't know, Jimbo.
Here we go. Ooh. Now here's the big switcheroo. See how much oil he gets on the floor here.
Camera's on now.
Switch it.
I may not have to switch it.
Go ahead and switch it.
No, I ain't. You getting me? Somebody didn't take the cap off.
Well, we got the oil out of it. We got about 6 gallons in the buckets. We figure there's still maybe close to a gallon or 3/4 of a gallon in these 3 filters. So I'm gonna pull the filters off.
Need a bigger wrench.
Need a bigger wrench. It's a big filter. Here's Rip. Say hi, Rip.
Crap, Jimbo. I may not have a wrench back. Ah, you gotta be kidding me.
I may have to get under there and do it. I hear a lot of grunting and carrying on here. There she goes.
She ain't wanting to.
It moved.
no sense in that. Ever.
You see a date on it anywhere?
I don't know if this is oil or fuel filter. That's all. Sun goes tight. Way too tight.
No. I wonder if there's anybody watching would mix this all with kerosene and treat their lumber with it.
Remember the numbers off that?
You could see them until you covered it up with oil. Well, we had a chance to take another filter off.
You ain't worth a crap. Just stand here and watch me struggle.
He's doing a fine job.
You're in my shorts. You're in my favorite pair of shorts.
His favorite pair of shorts has got the whole rear end tore out of it. If Carly watches this, she needs to buy the boy some more shorts. Okay, we got another filter. Another, looks like a hydraulic filter up under this A30C Volvo articulating dump truck.
Mercy.
I'm glad Lindsay's trying to take that off and not me. He got it. I don't know if
I don't know how.
I don't know if he got it or it got him.
Yeah. It got my elbow, that's for sure. I'm probably about to get it all over me. I'm hoping it won't sit here and just keep draining.
I don't think he's been to the gym and worked out in a while.
Well,
You can tell by the straining he's doing here.
this is just great. I guess we'll sit here and see if it stops. If it don't, I'll have to.
That looks a little more like oil than it does hydraulic. I mean, it looks more like engine oil.
It does, don't it?
It's not transmission, is it?
It may be. That's what it is.
Transmission fluid. I thought it looked kind of thin.
So much for my bucket catching anything, because it ain't. Don't want like it stopping. It smells like hydraulic fluid.
Beth, did you find a side to get up? Find a side to get up. Rip. You want to check things out too?
All right, I don't know what that is.
Did you get a number on it?
Yeah, 1494.
1494.
It says hydraulic. That's tight enough, folks.
One down, 2 more big ones to go.
All right, so we got the fuel filters and 3 oil filters changed, cover put back on. Made a huge mess. I guess we're ready to fire this thing up and move it back. Try to adjust the front brakes maybe tomorrow. Kind of running out of time tonight, so let's get this thing fired up and air pressure built and roll it on back. And this air filter looks pretty good. The inside filter didn't have anything on it, so probably just going to blow that one out and reuse it. So as I kind of expected, we was going to have to work on the fuel after changing these filters. I can tell it already lost its pressure. You don't hand me that wrench? Crack this open and let her. There you go. I don't know. Yeah. Let's fire it up. Here you go. Steer forward.
would say that looks pretty good. The brakes are working. Got all the fluids changed out. I got the engine oil changed out, the filters and everything. The old truck is in pretty good shape to be abused and neglected like it has been, which I think it has been. But I believe old Lindsay, he can bring it back to life if anybody can. Looking pretty good.
Well, boys and girls, I'm going to call that the yay for today. Yay for the day, whatever. I'm very surprised that the brakes are working as well as they are. This truck, I may be jinxing myself. I can't talk right now, I'm so thirsty. I may jinx myself saying this, but I just about think whoever had this truck just didn't care, you know, to keep things checked on it. Like, I feel like maybe all that was wrong with it is it ran out of brake fluid or whatever, and they just probably didn't bother fixing little things on that. Like, we put some more fluid in these, and there was 2 fittings under there that was loose, so I feel like maybe because that's holding now. I'm gonna try to bleed the fronts tomorrow, and then I'm going to change the final drive oil. I'll check the axles. The transmission oil looks very good, it looks very clean, so I'm not going to really mess with that right now. I think I figured out where to fill it, and of course how to drain it, and then the filter, but all that looks very good, so I'm not going to mess with that right now. Like I said, the truck seems very tight. Even Jimmy was saying, even all the bushings and stuff, there's no slop in it. The truck is very responsive. Even the engine oil looked pretty good. It still had a lot of viscosity to it. The only thing that kind of worries me is y'all seen the water in the hydraulic system. Just my experience with hydraulics and all that, it's probably not going to be good down the road, but I feel like these machines are very resilient. They can probably tolerate a lot. It's just how long was it like that? I don't know. So all I can do is just keep every so often drain 5-10 gallon out of it and refresh it and just kind of see what happens with it and run it. You know, I'll fix it when we cross that bridge if it breaks. I got to get this thing on a job, so I'm excited to actually get the brakes working, go through the filters and fluids and stuff, all that stuff. Everything looked good. Now I know kind of how things go. It'll be a lot quicker next time. So I enjoyed it, actually. I've been kind of dreading it. It's intimidating, you know, a truck this big. But the more you climb around on it and beat and bang on it, the more comfortable you get with it. So I'm excited. It's definitely fun. You feel like you were in a monster truck in this thing. So I enjoyed it. Rip, what you think? He enjoyed it too. So anyway, okay, I should be about to finish this thing. All I got left to do is check the final drive oil. Of course, none of them are even close to being lined up, so I need to fire this thing up, let the air pressure build, and man, I'm gonna have to move this thing a lot because that one's different from that one and that one. So of course, today I actually need Jimmy. He ain't here. So I got me some 85 140 oil. It calls for different types you can put in here, but me being in the south, it's hot as hell around here, so I went with that because it can handle a little bit higher temp. Don't really get that cold here or for very long anyway, so I went with a higher temp oil. Have no clue what's in it. So yeah, I'm gonna get a socket, and these are pretty big. I don't think I have a, well, that looks like a 1/2 inch drive. Yeah, we'll try that. I hope those break loose pretty easy, but knowing my luck, they won't. I got a brand new oil pump. This is the second one I bought in the past few months. And those of you that know, there may be a killing on this hillside, because if my brother-in-law and one of his goons uses that new oil pump to pump trash oil out of some of these totes around here, yeah, it's not gonna be good. So this is the second one I've bought, and I'm getting to it before they are. So anyway, let me get this thing situated and let's drain the oil, and this thing will be done. All right, I got this one set up, ready to go. It's a 3/8 drive that'll take these loose. I couldn't get a socket on it. Pull that one out just to let the pressure out first. And we'll take this one. Already broke it loose earlier to make sure this was going to work. And let's see what this looks like. It actually don't look bad. It's actually still pretty clean. It's not burnt. Most of you know it's been around gear oil. That stuff has its own distinct smell, especially when it's been heavily used. And this right here, I can tell it's pretty fresh. Hell, it might have just been changed. But anyway, it's gonna get changed again. So we'll sit here and let this drain out, and then we'll pump some new in it. Alright, so I got the plug back in it. You just put the bottom plug back in it. As long as you're pretty close to 90 degrees right there on your fill. I mean, really on this, either one of these could be fill or drain. Actually, looking at it now, this one is actually up higher or closer to center than this one is. So this one actually should have been the drain port, but it'll be all right. It's close enough. So we'll just fill her up until she runs out of the hole right there. Golly, it's a little hard to pump. See, it's just about to start coming out of the hole right here. Maybe y'all can see. Yeah, there she comes. That's pretty much full right there. I'll let it sit there a minute. Make sure. These things hold about, like, I think the book says like 0.8 gallons, so just a little under a gallon. They're pretty big. Or it may be 0.8 liters. I can't remember. I need to go look. I got it all wrote down. So typical me, I wasn't paying a whole lot of attention the location of these things. I usually look on if it's got a drain or a fill stamped on it, but you can see like this plug is closer to center than this one. So this is actually the drain plug, but this oil look really good, so I'm not going to worry about that. I mean, we're splitting hairs at that point. If the oil was really bad, then I would correct it, but no big deal. So this one is actually, the drain is closer to the bottom, so all I got to do is go in reverse a little bit and get that lined up. So that's all I like, really. I'm gonna check the gear oil in the axles, put the same oil in those also. So I pulled the basically it would be the fill plug, the way I got it positioned here, out on this one, and it just dumped a bunch of oil out. So this one was way over full. That's how you blow out seals and stuff, because when this oil gets warm or whatever, it's going to create pressure in that hub, and it can blow seals out. So this one was way over full. Man, oil looks good though. Well, all right, boys and girls, that's gonna be a wrap on this one. I got a couple covers to put on up there over the battery and all that stuff. All the hubs had good oil in them. They was pretty full. The only one that might have been a little low was this front one right here. I got all that topped off, and I'm gonna run it down the road here and let everything get warm and check over it one more time just to make sure I didn't leave nothing loose and everything looks good. So we're gonna call it on that one. Boss lady over there says it's time to relax and enjoy the weekend. So I'll catch y'all on the next one. Y'all leave me a comment, let me know what you think. Yeah, y'all keep your eyes open. I'll see you later.